CD ein. How to Train Your Real Dragon by Cressida Haran Cowell. Translated from the Real Old Norse by Taiki Nakasone. Read by Pragmatic Leader. About the author, Cressida Haran Cowell is the head maid of the Isle of Mull and a meticulous researcher of the missing link. A proud, blonde-haired professional. She believes dragons never vanished, they simply evolved into the realistic drakes and wyams she documents today.
A note from Cressida. They say the dragons are gone. They are wrong. They have simply changed. While others chase myths, I study the Philippine forest dragon and the Dracovolans. I see the ancient blood in their small scales. Dragons didn't leave us. They became real. If you want to find them, stop looking at the sky, wash your face, and follow me.
Step 1. First, take your dragon with you. The morning mist clung to the cobblestones of Colonsay as Cressida stepped out of the manor. Her blonde hair tucked into a sharp, professional braid. Behind her, aqua sleek, moss green, common green, drake scuttled out. Her claws clicking rhythmically against the stone. Keep up, aqua, Cressida said, adjusting her crisp white apron. The floors won't scrub themselves, and the tide is coming in at the docks. We have a reputation to maintain. Aqua let out a low, vibrant trill, her throat bulging slightly like a bullfrog's as she looked up at Cressida. I know, Cressida sighed, pausing to check the drake's scales. You think the damp air is good for your skin, but if you track mud into the Great Hall, Snota will have my head. And do try to look proud. You are a descendant of the ancients, not a common garden toad. As they reached the village square, Fishlet looked up from her forge. Wiping a smudge of soot from her forehead, early start, Cressida. Fishlet called out, leaning on a heavy hammer. Beside her, Gravel was busy gnawing on a piece of iron-rich ore, his thick scales shimmering in the forge light. Precision requires time, Fishlet, Cressida replied, her voice clear and authoritative. The missing link doesn't wait for late sleepers. Aqua and I are heading to the shoreline to document the salinity's effect on her swimming speed. She looks healthy. Fishlet noted, nodding toward Aqua, much cleaner than the wild ones in the marsh. Naturally, Cressida said, a small, proud smile tugging at her lips. Because as I always say, a clean dragon is a partner, not a pest. Come along, Aqua. We have work to do, Aqua chirped and scurried ahead. Her tail twitching with excitement as the scent of the salt spray hit her nose. Step 2. Observe the scales. Not the smoke. The salt air at the Colonsay docks was sharp and cold. Asta was already there, his boots planted firmly on the wet wood of the pier as he untangled a heavy fishing net. At his side, the common blew along. Legless worm slithered through the coils of rope with fluid, eel-like grace. Morning, Cressida, Asta grunted, not looking up. Aqua's looking green as a spring meadow today. She is healthy, Asta, Cressida replied, kneeling on the damp wood. She didn't mind the moisture. Her focus was entirely on Aqua's back. And if you looked closer at your Wyam scales instead of just his strength, you'd see he's due for a soak. Cressida pulled a small magnifying lens from her apron pocket. Aqua stood perfectly still, knowing the routine. "I don't need a lens to see he's a good worker," Asta said. Finally, looking over as the common blue let out a soft, bubbling hiss. "He found a hole in the net before I even cast it." "That's his sensory pits," Cressida explained, her voice rising with scholarly excitement. "He's not magic, Asta. He's a specialized predator. If we document these traits, we prove they are the missing link to the modern lizards." Aqua nudged Cressida's hand, clicking her teeth impatiently. "She wants the water," Asta chuckled. "She wants to prove she's faster than your worm," Cressida corrected, tucking her lens away. Drake's scales are built for hydrodynamics, not just for show. "Now, move that net, Asta. We have data to collect." Aqua gave a sharp, confident chirp and dove into the grey Atlantic water without a splash. "Step 3. A clean dragon is a proud dragon. The work at the docks was done." And Aqua was dripping with salt water and seaweed. Back at the manor wash house, Cressida rolled up her sleeves. "If you want to be treated like a real dragon, Aqua, you must not smell like a rotting kelp forest," Cressida said, picking up a stiff bristled brush and a bar of lye soap. Aqua grumbled a low vibration in her chest, but she climbed onto the wooden grooming bench. Snowter leaned against the doorframe, watching as Cressida scrubbed a stubborn patch of mud from Aqua's tail. "You spend more time washing that lizard than you do yourself." "Cressida," Snowter teased, though she was carefully braiding her own hair. "Because she is a reflection of my research, Snowter," Cressida snapped back, not looking up. "A dirty drake is a lethargic drake. When her scales are clear, she can regulate her temperature properly, just like the bearded dragon. It's biology, not vanity." Aqua let out a satisfied chirp as the brush hit a particularly itchy spot between her shoulders. She stood taller, her green scales beginning to gleam like emeralds. "See," Cressida pointed. "Look at that posture. She's proud. When we walk into the Great Hall for dinner, people will see a partner, not a pet." Step 4. Listen to the click, ignore the roar. Evening had fallen over Colonsay. Inside the quiet library of the manor, Cressida sat at her desk, the light of a single candle flickering. Aqua lay curled at her feet, occasionally making a soft click-clack sound with her tongue. "Did you hear that?" Cressida whispered, her pen hovering over the parchment. Fishlet peered over her shoulder. "Sounded like a beetle hitting a window." "No," Cressida said firmly. "It's a language. The ancients might have roared to shake the mountains, but the missing link uses precision. That click is how she tells me the hearth fire is getting too low for her comfort." Aqua clicked again, sharper this time, and nudged a stray log toward the fire with her snout. "She's not a beast to be tamed with a whip or a shout." "Fishlet," Cressida explained, her blonde hair glowing in the firelight. "She's a mind to be understood. If you listen to the small sounds, you realize they never stopped communicating. They just stopped being loud." Cressida wrote the final line of the day in her journal. "The dragon is not gone. The dragon is simply waiting for us to be quiet enough to hear it." "There," Cressida said, closing the book with a satisfied thud. "Step for complete. Now, Aqua, let's get to bed. We have floors to scrub at sunrise." Aqua gave one last soft click of agreement and settled into her nest. Daisy Isa só dou a fauche do which is a dragon language for the end.